Welcome to Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy! Ahoy! Aye! Oh, for a die Guam, here that I come alive. From just Pirates Cove, we sailing for what's right. Captain Jeffrey Pigwell keep the compass true. Andrea on the map, Guam directory coming through. Tigs with the signal, save our startup loud. Doc Akimoto on deck, AMC proud. Leaning close, let the real talk run. Ha good nya to man, everybody has one. No wish on this ship, no fear in our eyes. Raise the sails to the truth, watch the whole place rise. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, ahoy, sing it don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seeker, yeah we deliver. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Everybody now, Guam unfiltered. They do to Santa Rita, in Alohan too, Talo Fofo in the reading. This one's for you, Don Farrell in the room, Charlie Hermosa near. We ask real questions, make it crystal clear. Tenorio, Calvo, Ada, Camacho names in the race. No banners on this deck, just truth to face. Independent pirate party, stand firm, stand tall. Continue to continue, answer the call. Clap, clap, lean in close, hey the real talk run. Hagotnya to month, everybody has one. No hush on the ship, no fear in our eyes. Raise the sails to the truth, watch the whole place rise. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, sing it, don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seekers, yeah we deliver it. Guam unfiltered. Everybody now, one filtered. White ladies breach when the night wind blow. Truth don't scare when the truth must show. Chief Gagao and Matapang strength we carry on. Sarina in the tide sing, Guam sing along. Continue to continue. Independent pirate party. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, sing it, don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seekers, yeah we deliver it. Tune into Hafa Hour, Guam.
Help! We need backup!
You can do it, baby!
Okay, that's enough! You got 10 seconds! Believe me, you don't want this! 5 seconds! Very serious situation! 3, I'm ready! 1 last chance! You know what? Forget it. Let's do this the smart way. We talk. Okay. Let's make a deal. That's a good point. I'll take it. Best negotiation I had today.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city. Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
exactly what happened?
We were outside the outlets when someone tried to open the
Under these statutes, you don't have the authority.
Responsible gun ownership is a law. Coming from that appellate.
now.
Before they realize what we know.
I understand the.
And I'm Tony. The countdown.
It's a beautiful look.
We gonna run this town.
See you there.
Here.
Time to go.
A few moments later.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And each story is told in a different way. Sometimes I hear the same birds singing from past weeks, telling of their adventures since last seeing each other.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hafa Hour. This is episode 36, season 2, and we're gonna have a great time today. You're at Just Pirates Cove, beautiful Ipan Telefofo, Tocha, Guam, USA. Today is March 29th, 2026. Now, we got a lot going on. We got Beaster here, and Charlie, and Jerry, and Doc, and Amberbach, and Josh, and Tina, and Steve, and a couple of other good guys over there. So we're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna start off with what we have in the gift shop right now that you must be interested in. This is Don Farrell.
Don Farrell's books, Guam, A Brief History, Liberation, and CBs and Superports.
We have all three of these on sale in the gift shop. Tonight we're hosting the Hiroshima people that are going over to Hiroshima this week. And we're gonna have a good time with them. But if you want these books, come down, check it out. Also, we have a new shipment in with magnets, pirate magnets. Everybody's been asking us about those, so if you want a magnet, come down. What kind of shirt is that?
We have The Beatings Will Continue, long sleeve.
Great shirt.
And we have a dry fit long sleeve.
Dry fit is the thing. These things are sun resistant and protect your skin. Now, if anybody knows Dr. Cass Nakasone, please have him aware that we made a new shirt for him. He is my hip surgeon that replaced my hip 12 years ago, and those hips are glow titanium.
This is your shirt, doctor.
There's another new design from Guy that just came in, from Guam to everywhere. It has a mileage. And then this shirt here is the Thad Missiles, and we have sold so many of these this week that you wouldn't believe it, so there's a big interest, and there's a lot of people from Thad here. We also have hot sauce, 6 different flavors from Edgewater, Florida, and we got the beautiful Mo Gold honey from the Chains of Love growing right here in Telefofo. And we just harvested 7 gallons of this. So right now is the time to buy. Now, honey is really good for you. And if you have asthma or anything like that, some people believe that the honey, eating the local flour and everything like that, can help you with your asthma or things like that for your body. And honey never goes bad. It lasts 3,000 years. So nobody has this kind of honey but us, and it's delicious. So come down and check it out.
Hey Jeff, if they come down, will they be able to get honey with their calamansi tea?
Well, if they mention they know you, maybe.
And then next week?
Next week is our Easter celebration with a buffet, and we've reduced the price. Doc said that it's a good price at only $30 for adults and $15 for children, and that'll be from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So make your reservations. Call early, 789-COVE, 789-2GO. Both of those numbers work well.
Excellent.
Okay, Bistra, let's start off with what you want to tell us today, please.
Alpha Day and good morning, Guahan. My name is Bistra, and I want to share something very special. It kind of ties in with our guests today, Josh and Tina. I received, by the grace of God, just for you, an email from a young mom yesterday who found my proposal for a bill that was originally authored and introduced twice, once in 2019 and once in 2021 by Senator Tina Muña Barnes. That is the Home Industry Act. So I want to read out loud what this young lady talked about, because I am convinced that we need more bills that help the little guy, that help the people that actually want to make a difference, not only for themselves, but also for their children. Because not everyone wants to be on public assistance. People want to thrive, but we need to help them. As a community, and specifically at the legislature, we need to remove the red tapes that stifle our economic growth. So allow me to read what this wonderful mom wrote to me yesterday. My name is Johanna, and I'm a stay-at-home mom based in Jigo. I'm currently raising my toddler and pregnant with my second one while trying to build a home-based sourdough business. I recently read your proposal for the Guam Cottage Food Freedom Act of 2027, and I wanted to thank you for sharing this plan to put this bill forward. I really felt like the bill was written for me, and I don't doubt that. There are thousands of moms just like you out there, Johanna. I've been exploring ways to legally sell baked goods from home, but the requirements for my commercial kitchens make it difficult to start. My husband is a U.S. veteran and is currently pursuing his master's degree in agriculture at the University of Guam. And our dream is to one day start a farm and a bakery together and sell cottage foods and value-added products. But it also had to openly test my baked goods and see if people truly enjoy them under the current system. I deeply care about my family, and I want to contribute to our household income while still being present for my children. So a cottage food law will make that possible. I completely agree with you, Johanna, and I promise you that if I don't make it in the next legislature, I will fight for you and the thousands of moms just like you, because I will knock on many doors to make this happen. My current proposal, what you read, can be found by other moms like you at bistroforguam.com/billproposals/bills. And I hope that we can talk about this wonderful proposal a little bit later with the senator who originally authored this bill. So thank you, Johanna, and I wish you and your family great success in life. And we need more people like you that want to prosper and want to do better. So that is from my weekly take on things. And let's start with our next guest.
Jerry.
Hey.
Folks, this is Jerry Yingling. He's running for senator, and he's going to tell you about how he got to Guam and what it's all about in his life.
Yeah, my name's Jerry Yingling, and I'm running for Senate, and I'm a Democrat, and quite a proud Democrat.
What?
I know.
What? All these meetings we've had?
I used to be, you know, that's history. No, actually, originally I was scheduled to go to Georgia to support a Senator Sam Nunn to run for president, 1988. And I had moved all of my stuff out. I was living in Tokyo. I was an executive with Visa International at the time. And I'd closed up my home, packed everything in a container, and moved into the Intercontinental Hotel in Shinjuku. About 4 o'clock in the morning, I got a call from Sam Nunn saying that he's stepping down from the race. And as I was going to be co-chair for the campaign, I'm going, uh-oh, not good. But fortunately, I had executive firms contacting me. I flew to London, I flew to Hong Kong, I flew to San Francisco for job interviews. And actually, 2 of them were for Guam. One was actually DFS. But I met the gentleman at DFS. No offense to DFS. I didn't like the gentleman. And 5 minutes into the interview, I said, this is not going to work. I think you and I are going compatible to work together. So I stood up and I offered to pay my airfare and hotel, and he said, no, it's okay. Just get out of my life. And I said, okay. And so then I came to Guam for a 2-year contract, and intending to move on to the mainland. And very quickly that changed. We had the series of typhoons, Omar and all of that. And watching this community come together to rebuild and help people was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I've lived in I don't know how many countries, and I've visited over 70 countries with visa. And there's no place like Guam, without a doubt, the best place I've ever lived. A lot of places I loved, they were nice, but Guam is where I said, this is it, I'm staying. And I'm running for the Senate, simple. I think the legislature has far more power than they realize and are not implementing. We have a over 20% poverty rate in Guam, people living below the poverty line. And we don't see much discussion on that. In many countries that I've visited, there's discussion about poverty eradication. And I think Guam needs to start thinking of that in that way as well. And beyond the poverty, we also have really miserable wages. Guam has an artificial economy, often because of the military and the federal government. And so we're creating I don't want to get into the Gini, but it's it's wage equity is really getting pretty bad in Guam.
But even before we go down that route, Jerry, there's a couple of things that you left out, and one is that you're a Marine.
Oh yeah, hoorah!
Okay, so we got to put that.
Yes, I'm a Marine.
You're a Marine, and you have had experience in politics.
Yes.
You have worked within administrations in the past.
Yes, I have.
Can you talk a little bit about?
Well, yeah, look, when I first came to Guam, and he's going to like this, I was a Republican, and Governor Gutierrez called me to his office and pointed to me, and I had never met him, and he said, I know you never voted for me. And I said, yeah, kind of. And he said, but I'm going to put you to work for me. And immediately put me on the BRAC, the Base Realignment and Closure Commission, and also on the Select Committee. And from there, he moved me over to the vice chair for GITA. And was in GITA, and then I was planning on taking a position with a major company, and I think the governor got word of that. Next thing I know, he's calling me and telling me that I'm going to the airport. And I went, what? He said, you're going to go to the airport. I need somebody at the airport. So I went and talked to the board. I liked the board, and we had a good relationship. So I became the executive manager of Guam International Airport. And today I'm on the Guam Land Use Commission as a commissioner. And, it's a broad swath across what makes up Guam. And, getting back to the one reason why I'm running is that, Guam's lost some of the bloom off of its rose. And I think we all work hard. And when I say we, I'm talking people in the legislature, people in the private sector, get back, and we can make Guam exactly as wonderful as I first found it. We're getting a little tattered around the edges. We have, my other big thing about beyond wages is housing. You drive through Jonestown, I can tell you one street where I can find 3 or 4, not vacant homes, derelict homes that there has to be a way that we can put these back into the market. There has to be some incentives that we can find with the people who are owners or off-island people that no longer have an interest. We desperately need housing. And some derelict buildings need to be torn down. They need to go, pure and simple.
I agree with that.
If I could, Jerry, because I think a lot of people know you from different lives, and obviously...
I'm a cat of 9 lives.
Yeah, well, and you're not done yet, right? So you're running for senator.
Yes.
And you've got a full head of hair. You look really young. You're
I'm very old.
Relaxed. No, wait, I was going to bring that up because I just discovered sitting next to you that you actually were a Marine during...
1969.
Well, I thought 1973. So
well, that's when I got out.
So this young man experienced the full impact of being a young soldier going into a war that many people didn't agree with. I'm sorry.
Never call a Marine a soldier.
Yes, sorry.
We have respect for soldiers, but we're not soldiers. We're Marines.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He was a young Marine.
He was a young Marine and put in harm's way and having to deal with global issues that even now we're trying to come to terms with. For the purposes of the young voters that we're trying to get, they too now are facing some of the same questions about patriotism, serving their country, dealing with the questions of war, not just on their TV, but potentially in their backyard.
Charlie will tell you the same thing. Get involved. You know, our government only works when citizens get involved. That's what we are. I mean, if you want to define what makes America great, it's involvement, pure and simple. I mean, I'm nothing special. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm a person who wants to make things better, want to do the research that it takes to put forth good law.
And I think one of the things that we've been looking at is, you know, several conversations we've had with the younger voters is, you know, they don't find it the interest, like, you know, they're not connecting well. And so when we ask them, how come you haven't voted? It's like, well, you know, just not my time, you know. But there's another side of when the younger voters used to go with their families to vote. And one day they said, I want to be that person. I want to be like my mom or dad. They go into the booth, they put their, you know, they click their names and
I
and they
think,
vote.
Charlie, it all starts at home. It all starts at home.
Yeah.
I've seen both ways, right? Where the parents are not involved and the kids don't care. And the other side where the parents are very involved and the children see that as a model behavior to copy and to, you know, inspire to do better things. So I think we need to work with the parents, the grandparents, as you know, people who are truly concerned about what we do and truly concerned about the island. I think we need to invite the community as a whole, but yes, it all starts at home. And a lot of problems out there today would not be happening if that household did better.
Yes, let me add to something that Bistra just said. You know, in my time, you know, there was the draft. The draft has disappeared, supposedly. We still have the selective service. With the war going on in Iran, we have no clue of what's coming. I enlisted in the Marine Corps. I didn't get drafted, but my two cousins did. And both of them, you know, are now passed. You know, they never got to see their children, or one never got to even get married. So you don't know what the future holds. And if you don't get involved in your government, and if you don't pay attention, then I hate to say it, but you get what you deserve. And that is not necessarily something that's good. I mean, I'm proud that I was in the Marine Corps. You know, I enlisted, and partially to make sure that I didn't go into the Army. No offense to anybody in the Army. Well, just the difference in training. Charlie can talk about that.
And so how can we bring that back to the younger voters? I mean, the folks that we want to be able to, because even whether it's right or the left side, you know, the numbers were they were not good, you know, and we want to be able to get the voters to come out.
Yeah.
But, you know, what is the reason? How can we push, you know, the voters to come out? Because I think we have 60,000 registered voters. But we had
only 49%.
Only 49% voted.
Which is, we're determined to change that.
And I mean, we're putting Jerry in the spot. He loves Guam, but he didn't necessarily grow up on Guam, so maybe he doesn't have some of that intimate village knowledge. But what you did do was you made the airport a cool place to work. No, I mean, at that time, it really looked like continental Micronesia was really our home carrier. And a lot of people that were young then, learning how to work in an international airport that you were running, are now leading some of the innovations that are going. They're trying to save our tourist economy, because at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, you were seeing the growth of our tourism industry.
Look at our GDP. I mean, our GDP, if you follow our GDP up until 2020, you know, we only had 2 years where our GDP slipped. 2006, where it slipped back, meaning negative, and then in 2018, it slipped back. But 2019 went ahead again. Then we had COVID. And so, you know, that 19% or 17% at that time of people living below the poverty line expanded to like maybe 26 or 27%. I mean, we were hit hard by COVID.
So there were challenges.
Not just tourism.
There were challenges, but what I'm speaking to is the excitement of working at the Guam International Airport. It was a relatively brand new facility when you came in. There was foreign carriers that were coming. People could see the success of Guam industry and saw good jobs that they wanted and they still have. Can you talk about how you inspire young people in that environment?
Well, I looked at all of the different ways that the airport could benefit and grow. And there's one thing called routes. I don't think very many airports in the region know about routes, but you can go there and you meet all the different airlines from around the world, literally all of the airlines. And you start talking to them and finding out what impediments they may have to come to Guam. And we had great people like Don Marshall, God bless his soul, he's passed away. But Don Marshall helped us tremendously. We flew to Thailand, got Thai Air to fly in, and that was just right after Siam Air collapsed. Korean airline, after the accident, I literally went to Korea and sat in the chairman's outer office for 6 months, almost monthly, going there and just sitting there. He wouldn't talk to us. Finally, after about 6 months, he called me in and said, we'll reinstitute the flights. But he blamed us for the longest time. But then after the NTSB report came out, he saw that they had a hole in their shoe, wasn't Guam's. And things like that,
Wasn't that a pilot error that caused that?
Yeah, well, actually, it was an airline error. They had the pilots, they flew Singapore first, went back to Korea, then flew into Guam. That's way beyond the FAA standard amount of hours that a pilot can fly.
Fatigue was a reason.
Yeah. And also, look, you got to take into consideration, our ILS was down, the interlanding system was down because of the typhoon. They were coming in from the south. They thought they were coming in from the north. They saw the radio station towers, and they thought that was the Nimitz towers over in the north. And so they started doing what's called a step down, and I think didn't pay attention to what's called the NOTAMs, notice to airmen. And so they started doing the step down, and one of the step downs brought them where their rear wheels hit the Navy pipeline. Boom, right, drove it right into the ground.
Wasn't there air traffic controllers monitoring them?
Yes, but they thought they were coming in from the other direction. The pilots thought they were coming in from different directions. And the other problem was cultural. To my Korean friends, I'm sorry, but one of the problems that they identified was in the cockpit, that the pilot would not listen to the co-navigator. The navigator was telling him that they were getting a ground warning. And apparently the pilot was like, no, I've been doing this 30 years, leave me alone. And so it was a cascading of errors, frankly. Terrible, I mean, really horrible.
Apologies to our audience. I mean, this is the kind of conversation you're going to have if you spend Sundays with us. So like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, Jerry Yingling is not the most interesting man in this room today, but he sure is an interesting guy, and I'm sure you want to hear more about him. I hope you have a website that people can go to. Obviously, we need to have you come back on the show, but maybe...
You're the one that got me. You're like, what's that, Caulfield. Holden Caulfield and Catch 22. Yeah, Catch and Ride. Yeah. You got me off in the distraction. Well, it's your fault. No, it's your fault.
Okay, blame the victim. But the thing is, let's give you at least a chance to say hello to the pretty people and tell them why you need to be senator in this next legislature.
Told you, I know for a fact that there's far more power that the legislature can do, and we need to do the heavy lifting. The legislature needs to do the heavy lifting for all of Guam. And that's pure and simple. That's not only for Adelup, but that's for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Joe Cruz, and whatever, everybody.
So this is where a Republican and a Democrat agree.
Thank you.
And what will your first bill be?
What's that?
What bill will you sponsor in the beginning that you think is important?
Like I said, I think wages really is one of the top issues. And there's other ways of going about raising wages beyond just simply the minimum wage. There's other ways that, you hear, forgive me, Republicans, but, one of the things, cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes. Well, there's ways that you can take those taxes, put them back to an employer, and encourage them to train their staff and give them a target for wage increases. Everybody that's in business needs more skill with their employers.
So that sounds like workforce development.
Yeah.
So, and I think our next guests are going to speak to that. And so,
Before we switch off, we have someone sitting in the audience.
Oh.
Mr. Steve.
Yeah, you said soldier. Yeah.
He's not a soldier.
Okay.
I did a fellow Marine. Let's say I had the opportunity to work alongside Jerry Yingling with Lieutenant Governor Tenorio and Muña Barnes, Senator Muña Barnes. But before we get going, I just want to say I give him credit for the Triangle Park.
Oh.
He was the brainchild along with the Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez. A lot of people actually disagree with the project, but look at it now.
Well used.
People are using it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful landmark in below Government House. Yeah. And I know you have also part of the flood mitigation problem that they had down the hill, right?
I forgot about that. Yes, you're right.
Yes. Okay. My memory is not really that great, but
people pay attention, Jerry.
I agree with what you stated. The Guam legislature has the power. They are the brainchild of this government.
Look at GTA.
Yeah. Yes, they went against that. A lot of people complain about that. Look at it now.
Yeah.
And there's a Comright 21 in the law that's supposed to right-size the government. Something that we have to revisit. Right? Dealing with the autonomous agencies. And in that law also says that any surpluses that they have, they're supposed to give back $3.5 million to the general fund. That's something probably we can take a look at if there's any surpluses that our autonomous agencies are having. Because the $3.5 million for the 4 agencies, the $12 million is supposed to go back into the general fund. But I know I'm taking so much time, but there's something that a lot of people are giving me this stinky eye every time I bring up the matter. All the radio stations. All of you guys know that there is a unlimited gaming fund that the government of Guam has instituted 2017 or 2016. This unlimited gaming fund is taken from legalized form of gambling. Since 2017, unlimited gaming fund has collected $14 million. $343 million goes to DPR, right? Department of Parks and Recs, GDOE, the Mayor's Council of Guam, and $53 million goes to DOA. So, if we can legalize several forms of gambling, why can't we legalize all forms of gambling? Because right now we're looking at possibility that with this war happening, or excursion, that we're not really going to know if Guam will be affected by it. I know we're being affected by it because during Typhoon Hour, we got affected because tourism is down. A lot of our tourists don't come to Guam when something's happening, when USA, our beloved country, is involved in any type of conflict. So the only way that I can think of that will help generate revenue, because we're already collecting revenue from all forms of from special interest gambling.
Church gambling.
Especially
bingo and church gambling. So you're the
You
question.
could do like the Dubai. They'll put like a Rolls Royce, and they sell raffle tickets, but the raffle tickets are like $500 or $1,000, and they only sell like 200 or 500. They help the odds, but that's another tangent. Sorry.
No.
But one of the things that I wasn't going to reveal it, but I'll reveal it now. Okay. One of the things that I would like to do in the legislature is to create a state-owned, state-operated sweepstakes, that the funds are directed only towards poverty eradication and for drug addiction, for cures. Because, a lot of states are very successful, but they're mostly using, I don't know what they're using it for. California uses it mostly for education. But I think that Guam, we're a smaller entity, and and not to say anything bad about bingo, but we've learned that some of the bingo places are not so not for profit.
So, because I'm hearing a different question from our esteemed guest. He's really asking you, do you support casino gambling? And if elected, will you bring casino gambling to Guam, as it's done now in the Philippines, right next to the airport?
I would need to see the bill and the, but if it's, what's that, responsible gaming has a place. I mean, look, we don't have much responsible gaming on Guam right now. But if anybody thinks that gaming's not going on, they're crazy, because it goes on. And and the problem is it's not regulated and it's not taxed.
No, if you look at the law, right, it states that this nonprofit organization is supposed to report something to so I'm not sure if we have the Guam Gaming Commission, but the law states that they're supposed to have a Guam Gaming Commission. So we need to find out exactly, because all these reports have been in Guam for 31 years. The reports that it needs to be submitted, it goes to the Guam legislature, the Speaker of the House, and to the governor's office. So there's some reports that's being generated as far as this authorized gambling. But the question is, will you authorize it? We don't want to hear this cop-out proposal
Yes
that
no, Mr. King.
we will leave it to the people of Guam. If somebody introduces legalizing
Let me put it this way.
marijuana by just a simple bill, we can do the same thing for legalizing casino. It's just a matter of taking a look at the gambling law and just put down, hey, all the above gambling are now authorized. Or delete all the gambling.
I get it, but I mean, does the reason why I'd like to see what the bill is about? IPI in Saipan. I mean, that's a cancer on Saipan. That almost destroyed Saipan. So if we have something here that works, that needs serious consideration, of course I'd consider it.
What's IPI?
But I mean, pardon?
Imperial.
That's the Imperial, that casino over in Saipan.
Oh no, I think there was
The money laundering, and now there's federal investigations going on, all kinds of stuff going on. So
My take on gambling is, forget about craps, forget about roulette, forget about 21. Have gambling that is the draw poker machines that we had here before, slot machines, and these can be monitored by us locally. We don't need outside help to do this. And in Saipan, that the machines are big over there, and a lot of people travel from Guam to play the poker machines. And these horse race and these crummy little, not casinos, I don't know what you would call them, holes in the wall, they're terrible. And they get robbed all the time, and we need to, like I say, the poker machines pay back much better. The slot machines can be monitored. Having to bring in outside people to run the tables and all that, I don't agree with that. And I look at duty-free in that big area down there, that huge building that's going to be vacant, could be a casino and a kids' area for some type of, like they had at the mall, bumper cars and stuff like that, but as a possibility.
DFS going away is actually a very frightening prospect for Guam. It's certainly not something that is welcomed.
Well, what's going to happen with that building?
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, I was asking somebody if they could do develop mice for Guam. And they said that maybe, but it's very small to hold any kind of conventions.
Maybe we can bring our next guest in to talk about those issues. Guys, really great to have you both on the
Thanks,
show.
Steve.
We thank you very much. And look for Jerry Yingling.
You got my vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Jeff.
Hey, Jerry. Good
If we
to
can
see you.
invite the Lieutenant
Josh,
Governor,
come on
Josh
over.
Tenorio.
Jeannie.
Come on down, sir. Thank you very much. We'll put this nice thing on you. And then?
I'll sit next to him.
I don't.
No,
it's okay.
Come on.
Are we still live? We are all live.
We're live.
We are live. Our next guests are running for governor and lieutenant governor. Josh right now is lieutenant governor and acting governor a lot, and we're very pleased to have you down here with us. And we're going to discuss whatever you want, and we're going to tell the people of Guam what you're all about, and you're going to tell them. And like, follow, and share. This is a great show today, and I feel privileged to have us all here together.
Well, thanks for the invitation. It's a pretty cool way to spend a Sunday. But I'll just say first, it's Palm Sunday today, yes. And this coming week is Holy Week, and I just wanted to say that, we have a lot of service members out there in harm's way, and we just pray for their safety. We have some military families too in Bahrain that are there, and we just hope that and pray that we can get a good outcome from what's happening right now, swift, and get back to work in the country and on Guam. But thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate it. I like the burgers a lot.
Thank you so very much, Jeff, Dr. Vince,
thank you,
Charlie, and Bisha. Thank you for literally giving us an opportunity to be here this morning, to reach the people of Guam, to ask them to literally come out and vote. And this show is literally doing that. So you guys have a powerful gift, and that gift is your vote. You can help make a difference to choose your favorite candidate. And we're asking that you choose us. And that's why we're here to share with you what we can do to help our island of Guam.
I just wanted to say that, we're in a very dynamic situation right now, and a lot of different external pressures. But when we work together, we can work across the aisle. And when Guam unifies, we're able to get the best possible outcome. A lot of difficulties out there, but I'm confident and optimistic that we have a lot of talent going on in Guam, but we have a unique opportunity to basically pass this bridge that has been built over these last few years and get people to have an improved quality of life, try and get people to be able to have a more affordable life on Guam. And the key thing there is housing. Dr. Akamoto is one of the best healthcare providers, trying to have affordable healthcare on Guam so people don't have to go for extended periods of time off island and burden that big expense, but really expand the economy and focus on, I think, a lot of career technical education right now. One of the big things I wanted to talk about today is we need a full-time vocational high school. We don't have one anymore. The kind of programs that are out there and the economy that we have to give people options, young people options. Not everybody is going to be a doctor, although we need more doctors. Yes. Not everybody is going to go to universities. We need people to be able to embrace the vocations. And I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to expanding as a governor coming up next year.
And if I can add to that, we have the Barada Act. I know Dr. Vince is very aware of that. It gives an opportunity for scholarships anywhere between $32,000 to $150,000 for the program to get professional training in the medical field. There's like 10 or 14 disciplines from podiatry, pharmacy, allopathic medicine, and so much more. And if the students from Guam do that, we have the Professional Student Exchange Program right now, working closely with Wichita and Guam Community College. When they get assess this program, they get to come home and work for Guam for at least 5 years. And you don't have to work for the government of Guam. You can work anywhere here on Guam. And we have the doctors engaged. I want to say there is an intern working in our office in reference to that. A shout out to the New York Institute for having that relationship with the University of Guam. GCC for having the WICHI program. Guam Behavioral Health also has a part of the WICHI program. But those are successes, Jeff and Bistra and everybody here, that is happening right now. And what we need to do is continue that, bring the awareness out, and make sure that people who want to go into these specialty jobs cannot do it here on Guam. We have an opportunity of scholarships and giving back to them. But the Barada access, they have to come home at least 5 years. And I know a lot of them want to come home. Like my nephew and my nieces who've come home to make it work here, to give back to their community. This is what it's about. But we got to bring the awareness out. And we have that program right now.
I completely agree, and I'll let you know why. I myself am a product of vocational high school training.
Right.
I've been an advocate ever since, because I know that a person like me went to a high school, graduated, and it was offered a job on the spot. And that job was not a minimum wage job. And right now, every vocational opportunity that you can get can increase the odds of you getting something beyond that minimum wage. And are we all agreeing that we need better paying jobs? Absolutely. But we need to teach our children how to use their hands. A plumber today makes more than someone who went to
than a
university.
senator, actually. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And they are so busy. Good luck finding a good plumber or a good electrician or a good master electrician today.
So
right?
please come to the public hearing on April 2nd with the Committee on Education, Senator Vince Borja, who will hear not one, not two, but 3 charter schools to bring charter schools and education for vocational training, for the autism awareness in the medical professional field, but also for tourism. So 3 charter schools that may be coming up. Public hearing, April 2nd. Please come to the Guam legislature and give your support.
Wonderful.
And it all sounds like these all are building blocks, right? Everything we're talking about are building blocks of how we want everything to work. But going back to the discussion we were having with Jerry as far as the casinos, right? I think Guam is going through an identity sort of realignment, right? Economically.
We're going through a transition.
Transitions.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we're trying to see is, what does this master plan look like? And it's never going to be perfect, right? So we're talking about vocational education. We're talking about career and technology. I'm actually the president of ACTE,
Right.
which is phenomenal, right? So, but what is your view? What is your outlook as far as the realignment of how you see Guam reshaping? Because UOG has opened up the School of Engineering.
That's right.
Wish we had this, maybe 7 years.
I think we need to unlock things. Organizations, businesses need to empower themselves. So when Bistro was talking about, the cottage industry, cottage food,
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I'm one of the Democrats. We're overregulated on the island. And so
Absolutely.
for me, I led an effort with Chris Duenas to get the ADUs passed. It was a little violent session.
Yeah.
People need to trust.
That was.
And I'm working with the speaker. Even though we're running against each other, I'm in favor of default approval for permit applications. And the reason why I'm into that is, if you only have so many resources, you're never going to have enough. Focus your time and attention on those that are the biggest hazards, and shift away from this practice on Guam of kind of over-regulating for this exceptional screw up. But meanwhile, everybody else is impacted that have been already doing the way that things need to be done. So I think, Charlie, you have to kind of unlock it and unleash in a way to allow for the businesses to get involved. And then, of course, government can't do it all. And nor can DOE, UOG, or GCC. I mean, GCC shouldn't have the exclusive area on vocational high school. DOE should have their own vocational high school program, real program that results in employment. I'm a GCC graduate. I had a job on my senior year.
We can have so many specialties right now. We start them at 9th grade. We can have a construction. We can have automotive. We can have carpentry. We can have metalworking. We can have so many things because I've seen it done. There's so many vocational schools out there that are so successful and produce highly skilled kids that are on the day of graduation, they're ready to go, and it's super successful.
So a couple months ago, the chief of naval operations, who's the head of the Navy, was here visiting. And I was telling him, I said, we want a ship repair facility. And, so they talked, well, we need a workforce. I said, I told him, I said, I have a school in the South, Southern High School is only 40% occupied. And built there are all of the shops for trades. I said, we can have a full-time vocational high school. And by the way, the kids going to Southern High School are the grandkids of everybody that worked at SRF. It's in the blood, we can do it. We just need a partner. So, the one of the most pressing and important partnerships we have is with Department of War. That's our reality. That is our burden for being in this geography. And whether or not you agree or disagree, to me, it's the reality is that we're always going to have a military use here.
Yeah.
Let's maximize the potential from that and make sure that people's lives improve as a result of the activities.
I fully agree with you.
If I could talk just a little loud, because I'm the only one without a mic. So I'm not mad. I'm just a tyrant from brief. So I know I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. I think I got the voice for this. The idea is that we're talking about the potential of Guam to really grow through this tough time, and the voices that you're hearing. I mean, I think everyone has to be impressed. These are lucid, clear, very coherent thoughts coming out of people that grew up in the villages of Guam, and I think once upon a time were members of Youth Congress, members of youth, the Young Democrats or the Young Republicans, and they're watching now because one of our biggest listenerships or viewerships is coming from the young folks who are involved in now the politics of youth on Guam, the folks that are up at the University of Guam. In fact, they'll be helping us to coordinate hopefully the debates that we're going to be holding. So there are people, young folks, that were just like you, because I remember you running around and at one point in time it wasn't practice, right? Because you were talking about youth-related issues, but you're speaking. Do you realize you're speaking with the same passion and voice as you did back then?
Many decades ago.
Can you speak then to the youth that may sometimes look at it and go, you're so far up there. You're going to Washington. You're doing all these great things, right? But you started in the youth center at Sinahanya. Am I right?
That's right.
Yes.
We'll take turns, but you speaking to your younger self, can you get them inspired? But tell them how you.
And I'm going to share with you, being a part of Youth Congress today, that bill about the home cottage industry came from the Guam Youth Congress, and it was such a disappointment that bill was kept in the Committee of Health without having to push forward. But there's still a lot of them. The Youth Congress is still working on that. They have been able to bring a lot of legislation to the Guam legislature, and it is our responsibility that the bills passed in Youth Congress has to be introduced on this body. They're the ones who did the same-sex marriage. They're the ones who literally stepped up, even talking about medicinal cannabis with our sinus, who really are our Surahanos, who really wanted to look at cannabis from the debilitating health aspect and get them the care they need. So whether we like it or not, we need to look at all the issues. Also, not just the Guam Youth Congress, the Public Policy Institute that continues to be in the legislature today, hands-on training 24/7, working close and shadowing a senator to get that experience so that by the time they're 25, they're going to be able to run and serve. They can do it today. It is not just a program. It is a statute in law. And I'm really excited that you brought that up because the Youth Congress never really gets the accolades that it deserves. That program was founded by the former governor, Carl T.C. Gutierrez, because he really wanted to see our younger generation Lieutenant Governor Joshua Tenorio, who was a part of that. Like so many others, families that want to continue to serve. Generations, 3 generations. My grandfather was in the 6th and 8th Guam legislature, and I'm in today, and I have relatives that are in, but I want to say it takes a concerted effort, and that's why I'm saying voting is important and it is key to help make a difference, because we have a report card. Every 2 years, you can either boot us out, or keep us in. And I've experienced it both ways. One term, I lost by 22 votes. Don't blame anybody else, blame yourself. But I said, I'm not giving up. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to work 10 times harder, and I'm going to engage with the community, and I'm going to continue to serve. And working with all of you guys here, in one way or another, you've asked to see what we can do. We worked with the drones, Charlie, and the University of Guam. We took that to the Association of Pacific Island Legislators. We had a test run here on Guam to see how the students who built the drones can see if it worked in another island nation close to us. And that program with the UO kids, with the OG students, having it as a capstone, we made it a success. And now we are able to take those drones, put medication in it up to 40 pounds, and deliver it to the remote areas that cannot receive medication via the airplane or by boat. So success to Charlie and his group and the kids that he continues to help out in the nonprofit organizations, and also working with the Transshipment Task Force, we have some low-hanging fruits. We got over $250,000 from the federal government. We went through the whole survey study, and we came back with low-hanging fruits. This man was able to get some ideas in, and I want you to share that. I'm sorry, Charlie.
No. But I mean, in light of that, but I think the transshipment, I think, is a good segue to ask you, because one of the things that we've also, or that I've asked, and I've, to the folks that are sitting in the legislature right now, the lieutenant and the governor, is the execution portion, because the Transshipment Task Force, it was culminated with a report, and they laid out the points that said, okay, this is the reason, or if you want to do this, this is what you need to do. And a lot of it, we've already talked about it. We've talked about it for the last 15, 20 years, right?
I think there's a paradigm shift that needs to happen, right? I think GITA and their business development section for decades have been, inviting business in, and that's one pathway. But the other pathway is, what are the businesses on Guam that are developing and innovating? GITA needs to shift into representing them to expand the marketplace that they're able to push things out. I see that as something that is a business change that is coming down the road that I think we're a little bit behind in, to be honest with you. But as you pointed out, we're in transition right now. What kind of tourists do we want? We have to be able to deal with affordability issues. What wages do we need? The people that have to get jobs now, because there's no longer these waivers for welfare. If you're not disabled, if you don't have, children under a certain age, you can join the workforce. And by the way, it's not like there's no jobs out there.
Actually,
We
there's a
have
lot.
record underemployment, so we need to get people into the workforce.
We remember the news that came out, like how many percent of the current population is not in active pursuit of a job.
And
And they say we're not interested.
And we need
That's
to,
scary.
And actually, for survival, it shouldn't. We have to work, right? But the other thing is, we have a lot of talent that is kind of underutilized because they have a substance abuse issue. That's one of the ugly truths that we have to face. That we have a strong posture on drug interdiction, but for those that are going to empower and get a way out, providing and expanding and getting more treatment and work. That's the issue.
I want to add something that actually is not widely discussed, but it exists as a kind of as a factor. A lot of people are currently on assistance, let's say Section 8 GURA, and they are reluctant to get raises because the minute that dollar goes over, that's it. They lose their home.
Housing or Medicaid.
I mean, we need to shift away from that dependency on government. Correct? We need. I don't have the answers today, but I know this is so important for everybody. That dependency, and I'm sorry to say, but it kind of reminds me of that social programming that's been designed to keep the people down instead of lifting them up. So, yeah, go ahead.
Just because we're talking to an audience, and I'm certain there are people stateside that are marveling at the thought, the depth of thought that's going into your government. Like, share, and subscribe. Send this out into all your friends. This is an important discussion. But what's more important is that you vote, that you get involved. And there's a lot of you who are in college. Those of you who are thinking about coming home, maybe making decisions about temptations to stay because of other factors. This is the election that matters for the rest of your life. And then there's all the people that are back there that are supporting you because they've got a lot of aunties or friends that are from Guam and they left for whatever reason. This is the election that's going to change maybe the direction of your life moving forward. And so call in, come back. apparently in order for you to vote, you have to spend like 30 days on island.
Right.
Can we bring a little bit of the island over there and set up a voting booth? Because I mean, they always say Guam is just a little dot. If we bring some dirt to California, to Bremerton, to San Diego, can we get the diaspora to vote? Because those people love Guam. If you go there, they love, you know this, you've been there.
You got to pass a lot for that, Vince.
Speak
Well, you
to those
know,
people.
I think that, you know, I'm a co-leader of this project called Navigating Home right now that the National Science Foundation is doing with UOG. And the idea is trying to find a pathway for these college students that are graduating and trying to reverse this brain drain. Knowing that in this rapid period of development because of military projects and pressures in the economy, there are needs for biologists to do permitting or for engineers or for medical professionals. So I think that one of the things that we need to collectively work on is Guam actually is kind of a closed place, meaning that it's hard to break back in. When you move or you're stranded, maybe after you've served veterans, you want to try and come back, it's not really easy. And one of the things that we need to figure out and maybe lead on is, you know, we need to open the door. And, you know, when I talked about kind of maybe putting some cracks in how we're over-regulated, I mean, regulations are supposed to protect us, but it can't choke us. And right now, I'll tell you, even myself, I am fed up with certain things. I secured like more than $1.5 million to digitize building permits on Guam. And I'm in like my third purgatory of procurement protests. You know, this automatic stay that happens?
We're supposed to be happy today. I promised these guys we were.
Well, we're on Holy Week.
No,
but here's the thing. You know, I mean, things got to move.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the problem. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but dang it, it's always like that. Procurement. And it's so true. It's so true because I know you were advocating for that permitting since the day one. And everybody's like, what's happening here? What's going on? Why is this not happening? There you go. Now you know the answer, folks.
What's happening is when you have a competitive book of business, companies with good lawyers find every single way to keep things the same. This is what's happening with Simon Sanchez Construction. This is what's happening here. So, you know, that's why I'm saying, look, if you have legitimate grounds for a protest, there's a way you can verify that. Other than that, hey, let's get on the road.
But Jerry Yingling was able to get stuff done at the airport. I mean,
that's why he needs to be in the legislature. Let's say we have some people that are risk averse in the legislature, right? And you know, you need to be able to let things move. We can't.
You can't be an obstructionist.
It's like, oh my God.
I have some questions I want to talk about.
Sure,
Yes,
it's your
sir.
show. It's your show, sir.
You're the boss, right? And one of the big problems we're having right now is all these vehicles all over Guam. Some have sat in Marito for 40 years. You're supposed to be in charge of beautification. Can't you just get the people and just start moving these things out?
Yes.
Well, so far, you know, during the last few years, we moved 6,000 of them out. There's tens of more thousand out there.
Well, there's some that have been sitting in yards down there for 30, 40 years.
I mean, you know, if it's private property, then I
It
can't
shouldn't
just...
matter, it's a hazard.
Yeah, it's killing the
I agree, but I can't just go into somebody's private property, Jeff. I have a responsibility for the public roadways. Now, there are some regulations where you're only supposed to have a minimum number. And to be honest with you, the biggest group or organization that is probably biggest at fault is the Tribunal Land Trust Commission and the agricultural leases that are growing abandoned vehicles in illegal junkyards.
It's Jerry
So I would say this, I need, right now, it costs about $600 to get rid of one. We've just the government is trying to expand the marketplace for competition. There's 2 more vendors coming on. And I have some procurements out there to try and do some big collections.
Or maybe, Jeff, maybe one way that we can look at it is, could we develop, again, an incentive similar to what we're doing with the tax collections, right? If you owe taxes, there's a bill out there that could give you some relief. Could we incentivize these homeowners to get rid of their junk? Like,
can.
I mean, is there something there that we could
It
potentially?
can always be visited. We can
Right.
always
can.
revisit this, especially since it's very important right now.
I need
to
a
get
bigger
rid-
marketplace.
Yeah.
That's the reality, because recyclable market has collapsed around the world. So the way I see it, Jeff, is we only have a limited amount of property. So I'm willing to throw in for that in the government. And honestly, solid waste needs to be in charge of this. Right now, they're not. You can't have a solid waste system and then, except you're not in charge of vehicles. That's part of the whole thing here. You have a lot of land in Malolo. We need to process them there.
My thoughts are that these vehicles should be picked up because they're a hazard to public safety, whether the person, it's on their land or not, that doesn't go away. Also, I believe that we could take these apart and use what's left to build reefs. And we did this on Guam before. I remember there was a time that, and you know, you look around the island, there's old junk backhoes, there's trucks all over, there's everything. Make a reef out of it. Take it apart, take what's useful. Sending it to China isn't going to happen. Sending it to the PI becomes an expensive process. Okay, so that's vehicles. The other thing I want to ask you is, why aren't we testing the GovGuam employees for ice and drugs?
Well, for testing positions, we do. For law enforcement officers, bus drivers, people operating heavy equipment, there is a mandatory drug testing policy.
Well, ICE is out of control. So I think all GovGuam employees should be tested.
You know, I could agree with you, but I'll just tell you that there's some law that prohibits that. You know, Liz Barrett, I love her a lot. She wrote an opinion that prohibits it. Maybe that's something that the legislature can help us resolve so we can actually do it. But right now, if it's for suspicion, you can do it. There's ways you can do it.
I did it at the airport though, using federal.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
You can.
That can definitely be
If
revisited.
if you are the big priorities are if you have if you have authority over people or you're operating equipment that is dangerous, you can.
Well, I
there's
just
testing.
see.
And that should happen.
We
but-
read all the time that, you know, these people are being found with drugs and they work at DPW. And, you know, to me, my employees, I don't test them, but they're not government employees. You know what I mean? Like that. They're not. And if I saw that they were doing something wrong, then I might consider it. But I do feel that everybody in this government should be tested because this ICE problem on Guam, it's terrible and it's affecting everybody. You watch people flying down the roads 50 miles an hour, crashing into other people. I mean, this is a problem, and I do feel that you should find a way to test everybody.
Full disclosure, American Medical Center does test, and we've had, unfortunately, to let people go, try to get them into counseling, but when it comes to your health care, you need people that are fully engaged and responsible, and abusing ICE, which is a crime, and then from a healthcare standpoint, you're impaired. So again,
And highly dangerous.
And that's the thing. We worry so much about people that don't follow the rules, that are hurting themselves. That speaks to the goodness of the community that Jerry Yingling loves. But we have a lot of great people who are there trying to do well. And some of them, going back to your days in Youth Congress, are now in the States doing very well.
I wanted to circle back because I didn't get a chance to answer
go,
that.
Go.
There is wisdom from the youth. I convened a summit, and the top 3 things that these youth came up with, I thought were just so awesome. Number 1, they wanted to increase the teacher salaries, and it happened.
Wow.
That was their number 1. The second thing they wanted was, and this is so interesting. We're just finished or we're finishing Mes Chamorro. They wanted to have more programs to feature all the cultures of Guam, including especially on the Micronesian side, the Chuukese side. And these were Chamorro Filipino kids that were coming up with this. They see some of the issues that happened. And the third thing, which I thought was really a big calling for all of us, they want more training on mental health. And that's because there's a lot of suicidal ideation going on. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of kids that are in the schools that are, in dangerous situations. And kids want to be able to help, but they don't want to be blamed. So, they want to be able to kind of help their friend out. Tommy might be getting beaten up, or, Tommy might be taking care of the kids because mom and dad are cracked out. that is the things we're seeing. So those are the things that, for me, it made me feel like, wow. And then I felt more, man, yeah.
I absolutely agree, and particularly about the mental health. Oh my gosh, aren't we witnessing overall in the Western world actually how mental health has declined so severely that we're just scratching our heads and just looking at what reality do we live in, and the thing is, children see better than adults what's happening to their peers, and sometimes, yes, they're prevented from helping their classmates because they don't want to be pointed at like, oh, you knocked on me.
Right.
But there should be a channel, right? There should be a
That's
safe
right.
channel for that. And yeah, I mean,
I
there's
wanted
so
to-
much wisdom
yeah,
in youth.
We're working on kind of a system for anonymous reporting. That's going to help us also, if there's going to be a riot, the kids know about the riot before the adults. So it's kind of like those all kind of help steer resources. But one of the things that, and I don't know if hopefully I don't get in trouble for this, but I think that I think this whole everybody's a winner, everybody got a trophy, and everybody got a certificate. I think this is undermining society because, quite frankly, when people, we're not always going to win.
You're not going to get in trouble.
happen.
You're not going to get in trouble by
You know what I
saying
that.
Kids have to learn
Yes,
how to deal with
and I
adversity.
worry.
We baby them too much. I gotta
I
tell
worry
you.
about it.
that. You won't get in trouble. But also, Doc, this must be a really good conversation because I haven't seen the urge for you to curse
Yes.
at all. So this is great. So thank you. Yeah, this is.
But hey, since you brought it up, I mean, again,
Don't bring it up.
the issue really is that the youth are telling us what we need to hear.
Sure.
Right? This is a
So we just have to follow
It's
through.
a moral
But
calling.
more than is that they're not thinking about themselves. They're thinking about
others.
the peers, the
Yes.
weak, the folks that they're teachers. You said the number one thing is they want to give their teachers a raise.
Isn't that pretty good? Wow.
No, because again,
No, meaning that they see the value.
Well, and also, I think we've underestimated these.
By the way,
these
we
kids.
did.
Yes, good job. And that's the thing is that now maybe more of them will go into that really
Yeah,
important
that's right.
industry. But point is that it's like a genie gives you 3 wishes, and you want all your friends to come back on that miserable boat with you because you missed them. That's a joke. But the folks that are going to take the reins, right? Because let's face it, you were a kid of the 90s.
In the late 80s.
90s.
I graduated in
Yeah,
91.
And so guys like, Vince Ariola probably always thought that, or Frank, we didn't think you guys were going to amount to much. We kind of
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But look, you turned out good. And then we're thinking that these kids that are stuck in the phone, they're playing video games. We think maybe they're not going to make it. They can't take care of
They're
themselves.
gonna make it.
But they're going to take care of us.
Yeah.
And their heart's in the right place.
That's right. I know one young guy that's probably going to take over your business in a few years.
Well,
Right.
so speak to that because I think you can take credit for being open-minded about helping kids who wanted to help themselves, right? I mean, instead of asking for a handout, they want a handout and they want to help their peers. Can you speak to Chalan Umti?
Yeah, I think that one of the big things is in this line where they're trying to empower each other. And, sometimes, leaders can enable, right? But, or they can do, but sometimes they just need to be able to open the door and sit back. And
Clean up the mess.
And we're referring to Kai,
Well,
right? One of them.
Because it was Megan, actually. Megan who
Yes,
was valedictorian.
but Kai was one that emailed me and
Okay.
pushed the meeting.
I told him to. And his mom told him to.
But the point is that these students from Guam and the region establish their own community, and they know where each other are going to school, and they all know what each other are trying to specialize in, and they are identifying pathways for them to come back. One of the bad things that happened with GMH losing its accreditation is they can't work at GMH to pay off their college credit, which is a reason why you need accreditation, right? That's one of the things that. But they went to challenge and to evaluate, Why is it so difficult for doctors to come home? How can we make it easier? And how can we unleash some of these programs that are working elsewhere in the country through the Internal Revenue Code, through WICHE, through all of these different programs, and align their goals with what's needed at home. With the girl that you mentioned, she comes from a background where, in her ethnic group, non-communicable diseases are so off the roof. There's no renal care in most places in Micronesia. Yet that is the one thing that is making families stranded in the States or here in Guam. And so her view is, she wants to get down into the weeds further down. What is she going to do to try and get the risk levels cut? But then what can she do as a provider to be out there and then to encourage people she's studying with to follow her? Because there's a passion for people. There's some people that study medicine, and they can make a lot more money elsewhere, but it's not satisfying their desire to help their community.
And the person he's talking about is Megan Gimmon, who was valedictorian of the University of Guam in about 2018. And the friends that she might be trying to encourage to come back, well, they already are starting to come, are from Harvard Medical School, where she's about to graduate this May.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't do a shout out to Veronica Paris-Byrne. Who's interning at our office, looking at the mental health issues and the issues that she can literally put policy in, working with the New York Institute. So I just want to say to Talan Amti, thank you for literally wanting to come home to help make a difference. She's going to be in family practice, she said, and she's definitely coming home. And folks like Dr. Paul, Dr. Jolene, and all those local students who said, even though we can make 10 times more back in the United States, they're coming home. So
we have a cousin, by the way, that we're not related, but we have a mutual relative. She's going to be OBGYN. She's in Hawaii.
Which one?
This is BJ's niece, Morgan.
She's
Just graduated. She's getting her thing. She's going to come back. So, we have to grow up. But like I said, we make it kind of hard for them to come back. And you have to pay your student loan. But I want to get a specialty. No, you had. This is kind of dumb, right?
And ironically, Doc, you brought up Vince Ariola.
Yes, Vince, yes. From
And-
DPW.
From DPW.
The brother of Frank.
And so we let's talk about infrastructure, right? Because I think, again,
We're running out of time.
Oh, are we running out of time?
No, go.
No, because I think one of the things that, we also see as we're putting all these building blocks together, infrastructure has to be a core of everything, right?
right.
So fixing the roads, I'm sorry that I go after Vince, and it's not his Vince. It's the process.
Linda.
No, it's not like no.
He's like, he's shaking his
Watch
head.
yourself,
Like
Vince.
a brother, like,
Watch
I don't
yourself,
care.
Vince.
No.
I know.
No, and I had the pleasure to meet up with Vince, and so we said we were going to talk, and now it's great. But it's not Vince. It's the process, right? Because and that's the part that we want to continue to dig into, is because, why do we make it hard for these things to really develop and take shape, right? I mean, why do we make it hard for just to be able to fix the roads?
Can I answer the question? Because
Yes.
some developer up on the hill in Mong Mong decides to not obey the rules, and suddenly everybody on Guam has to be late for work. Because sometimes people don't follow the rules, and so we do need DPW to enforce rules. They just need to have the resources to do it yesterday.
But
They need to
sometimes,
do it every day.
but sometimes people make mistakes, like putting a endangered species snail on the list, so much that in every single construction project on Guam there is this darn snail needs to get off. You know what I mean? These are some of the things that I'm like,
Or we have some red ants where they're not supposed to be, or whatever the species was,
But
so
fixable,
many things,
all
right?
Fixable problems.
Let's burn them.
Okay.
Burn those
don't,
ants.
Don't get in trouble. We're doing so well. We were leading somewhere. Where were we going?
We need to sprinkle a little bit.
No.
The process, yeah.
Oh, no, this was it. Because we can talk about problems, but can we talk a little bit about successes? Because the roads are getting paved. Just go down in Iran. What a beautiful stretch
It's
of
beautiful
road.
down there.
And so things are happening, not fast enough for Jeff or for any of us, but it's happening.
Route 17 starting soon. That's Cross Island Road.
Oh, I thought that was the back road to Anderson.
Oh boy, no.
Oh,
by the way, I read your letter.
Okay, thank you.
Good point.
I'll write another one. Well, but can we talk about families just real quick as we wrap the show up? And everybody come down to Jeff's Pirates Cove. You'll get to break bread with the pirate, and we can continue the conversation. But I think the big things that we want to preserve that I think has been good is during this time of pandemic, after Mawar, and even now as we're talking about the scourge of ICE, it does seem like there's been a focus on supports for the family, particularly in the child development area. There has been problems, but there's also been wonderful successes. The child development centers have been supported through these tough times to the point where they were able to meet code requirements that at one point in time were thought insurmountable. For example, the playgrounds that had to be to a certain grade. They had to look like what they had on the base, what it looks like in the States. For safety reasons, we sometimes think there's a little bit of overkill because what's wrong with a little bit of dirt or grass? But these are super safe, super sanitized playgrounds for the kids. And these were gotten by grants that successfully brought these child care centers up to code. There's been training for the caregivers so that, again, and Head Start has another component to it. There have been trouble in these programs, but they keep going forward and they keep raising new generations of kids that then blow us away with just how in tune they are with what the needs are in the community. So what's your commitment to making sure that the legacy of supporting families, particularly working families, single moms, folks who are trying to raise themselves up, how are you going to make sure that those programs, which again have had problems recently, it's a constant battle. What are your perspectives and what is your message for the families of Guam moving forward?
I just want to say I saw about 10 or 12 of them on Friday. The community
daycare providers.
Daycare providers.
Or
no, believe it or not, they were really wanting to work with us. I was the sponsor for the intergenerational daycare center, which brought the nannies and the manamkos together. And again, there was a division in there, but they could be able to relate to the stories of the manamko, sharing to the young children what they've been through and how they can relate with each other, and giving them purpose, like the way we were raised by our nanas and our tatas. Yes, and there are some issues, and I'm working closely with public health. I have a letter out to several of the government entities, also working with the lieutenant governor to see what we can do to help them out. So you know what? For me personally, it is about engaging with our community, working with our partners, leveraging what we have today. What may not have been good back then may be better today, and the reverse. But I think the true work successes is listening to our residents, right? Leadership begins with listening, and that's what we have to do, and that's what we've been doing. And I think everybody here has been able to work with us in one way or another, and we want to continue to do that. So I give my heart.
I just want to say that everybody should consider investments in youth programs as a long-term investment to help us bridge over these problems that we're dealing with. So not only would supports for families needing childcare continue with us, and there has been there was an extraordinary amount of support for a period of time after COVID, and things are stabilizing right now. So that fund is focused now on the very basic need of providing child care support for those that qualify. But the other investments are going to be in building all these sports facilities, these open air gyms. The reason why we're doing this around the island is that's a safe place. That's where people complain about kids out at night all the time. Well, if there's 12 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, who wants to stay in there? There's a reason why that we need to support those, support sports and leadership programs, but also cultural programs. I'd like to see the Micronesian communities be able to have their cultural programs, because I feel that when these kids are disconnected from who they are, it causes so many problems. And we can always get a strength for that. The other thing is the way to bring down the large number of Chamorro kids in CPS is, helping on the recovery programs. I have a big program right now focused on recovering moms. Judges are comfortable now to do the reintegration. It's the housing and the jobs that we need to work on, and most of these moms that are in recovery are victims of domestic violence. So it's complicated, but that's where the nonprofit folks and the community leaders come in, and faith communities. I can't underestimate how very important it is for the religious leaders, all faiths, to be involved.
Just because I'm one to shamelessly plug, you're really talking about, at least at one point, the lighthouse and women like Valerie Regis, who's been a champion of families and
she's a change agent.
And she's a change agent. But I'm just going to say Valerie helps on the way. People like Vern Paris's daughter. The thing is, the work can break you, and everybody gets to a point where they need to step back because they're being changed themselves by all this pain and suffering that they see. So our community does need to run towards this problem, and they need to do it with love, and we need to do it with the resources that we're finally blessed to have. I mean, you are sitting on top of the largest government fund to help the people of Guam in history. As we exit the show and talk about your candidacy through this, what do you say to the people of Guam, what you're going to do moving forward with $1.5 billion of their money?
Well, first of all, thanks for this opportunity. We need to be very practical with the way forward, which means that there's going to be some alignments, right? BPT is going to go back down to 4% in October. Probably comes at a good time because there's a big burden right now with fuel prices, which means that we in the legislature having the right kind of senators to prioritize where the spending is what's needed for the government of the future. And the government of the future needs to be able to to get past this history of missing opportunities. I'm tired of missing opportunities. And we always miss the opportunities when we stop talking to each other and we start filing lawsuits against each other. My leadership is about trying to work across the aisle. Let's try and figure out what we can agree on, move on that, and then save the fight for another day and keep making progress. I'll just say that I think Guam's future is bright. It's not easy. We're going to have to get over a bridge of some challenges. But I'm optimistic like you are, Vince, in the youth of Guam. I see myself as a leader that's going to help empower people to get things done for themselves and for government to be there to lift people up that need that help. Yeah.
And we need to continue to leverage with our partners, our nonprofits, and just work as a community to come together for the help for our future generations. And if we can show that we have an open door policy and you can come in and talk to us, makes a big difference. And it's issue oriented. And you know what, like I said, what may have not been good back then may be better today. We need to open our doors and revisit everything that comes our way. And this show literally helps. Bring the awareness out. Make sure you come and vote on the primary, which is August 1st, and then the general election, which is November 3rd of 2026.
And please vote for Tina and me.
Yes.
Josh and Tina all the way.
Let's go, Guam.
Jeff, final words?
Yeah,
Final words?
We have people in the audience here, and you guys can read all the comments when you leave the show. The biggest question on people's minds, and obviously this is the hardest, this is the most critical part of the island audience, okay? So the biggest question they want to know, if we sum it all up, is you guys have been doing this for quite a long time in politics, both the legislature and in office currently. What are we going to do in the upcoming term that you couldn't have done now? That's the biggest question they're asking. And let's remove all politics and let's talk human to human, LT, what do the people need to know about why you're running for this next term and why they should trust you specifically and your running mate?
Thanks for the question. Out of everybody running for governor, I'm actually the newest one to the table. I've been in office since 2019. Everybody else has been there before. And I recognize and value their service. What I bring to the table is I have the know-how that is going to be needed to deal with the highest levels of government, to make sure that we maximize every single opportunity that's heading into Guam's future, to know that there is a price for this burden of national defense that the people of Guam carry. We have to be very honest that that is our role, but that doesn't mean that we can't get unprecedented supports to improve our infrastructure as a result. I'm a firm believer in the youth of Guam. I'm a firm believer that Guam can always do better. I have a very positive outlook. I'm realistic, I'm practical, and with me, you're going to get farther than the rest. Tina?
And based on that, I can share ditto, and share the same sentiments, but it's important to know that in the legislature, you need to have bipartisan support. That magic number in there is 8, and if you don't get 8, then it's not easy to work with. And more importantly, if an oversight chair does not bring the bill out, no matter how good it is, it can literally end up in disaster.
I completely
But I
agree.
don't ever give up, believe it or not. I have legislation that industries, 7 or 8 industries, that full implementation needs to happen. And I'm saying that is why I'm stepping up to work with Joshua, because he is the most articulate, goal-oriented, and works really hard to get it done. And when there is an obstacle, we always find a way. If there is a will, there is a way to work it for our people, our community. So that's why I'm here. 44 years in government. All 3, he's 3 branches. I've worked in all 3 branches. He's worked with Congress too, but that I haven't worked with.
You know how true it is. I hate that when it happens at the legislature, one particular bill that's great and it's stuck in committee and just goes there to die.
You know that thing.
Oh, I know that.
Everyone, we're gonna be sure if you can have the 2 down. We're gonna play. You guys are all of you are in it, basically.
You need
We're
to win
gonna
it.
play. We're gonna play the plus or minus 1 card game, which everyone who's watching can play along with us. They can go to hafahour.com. The point of this game is to allow everyone on Guam watching to understand why their vote matters, right? Are you going to award a +1 to Jeff and Charlie, who haven't picked up their papers, or a -1? Or are you going to award a +1 to Josh and Tina? These are the questions that our voters on Guam need to answer for themselves, and we're going to show them through example how we do it and how they can do it as well. So if we can start with Doc, he'll show you guys how to do it.
So my +1 goes, of course, to Josh and Tina for showing up today, and I think having a really honest and very forthcoming discussion about the issues that matter. And of course, you gotta admit, he is articulate, and she's sunshine all over. So what's not to like?
I'm half sunshine.
Sunshine all over. My minus, we don't want to be negative, but it's for Marcel. Marcel started to pick on you, but not only have you not picked up your packet, but we're now hearing that you're running for lieutenant governor with Therese Terlai. So can you make up your mind? I mean, we'd love to invite you on the show, but the rumors are rampant. We talk about you every week, and it's because we love you, buddy. So come down with your PIC short shorts and let's interview you about what is your political ambition, because for some reason we still have you in our game, and every week you're getting either love or not love. Today it's minus because we need to know. Come down to the show. And bring Therese if you're going to run with her.
Can I do?
Yes.
Can I do my plus?
Everybody wants to play. Go.
My +1 will be this past week, tomorrow month, which should be every day. A young girl, she's about 8 years old, had to choose a tomorrow celebrity that means that's inspirational to her. And she chose Tina Muña Barnes because she said that I have the heart and passion to give back. And I did not know that I was a big influence to her. 8-year-old, her name is Harley Lozama. God bless you, honey, and thank you for representing your school and saying you want to be a senator one day.
You're an icon, that's why. People know you.
My minus?
Oh, you do both?
Yeah, and my minus is my nephew and my nieces and nephew, Matthew Camacho Muña and Jen Van and all the kids that helped out and built that mural in Jonia Overlook, and it was vandalized and graffiti. Not even a week later, we are having the plans. We're not giving up because we're going to repaint and make that another beautiful mural for our island and our visitors to see. So I'm not giving up. Matthew, thank you, Fishon, for all the work that you do. Matthew Muña is a teacher at John F. Kennedy. Jen Van, his wife, is a teacher at St. John's. And I'm going to tell you that they continue to give back and don't give up. And my 9-year-old Ava, who said, we're going to continue to pick up the trash even when people throw litter on our village roads.
I I'm the rule keeper here. So these guys say they're like little, whatever. I'm the rule keeper. You gotta
I'm
give
sorry.
a -1
Okay.
to someone on the game.
On your list
Oh,
there.
on my-
here.
on the- oh.
You're competitive.
Oh, man.
I think she gave
This
her,
is all
the plus
artificial,
one
you
goes
know.
to
That was
Josh
an
and
attempt.
Tina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And
Who's your
Especially
negative
if
out
you
of
like
all
what
the
Tina
groups
just
that are
did.
running?
Like, share, and subscribe. That was great.
Yeah. For just this week, who you know
Food to
award the
conformity.
-1?
Food rules. Go,
Oh,
go.
man.
It's okay. We'll put her in her spot. Next.
Okay, we'll put Charlie in the spot.
Okay. So my -1 for this week is going to be, sorry, Joe, St. Augustine.
Oh,
And
I like Joe.
well, the reason being is because, he's proposed the minimum wage, but we haven't really seen the platform come out. We haven't really seen anything come out from the team running.
No,
So
that's not true. He reduced the tax on cigarettes, which I think is self-serving. He should have abstained from that. And I tried to understand why a 3-pack-a-day smoker would be so bold as to reduce the price of cigarettes when the doctor was sitting right next to him, right? And he said, oh, because they had to pay for their own stamps. That is
Right.
the lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life.
So, I wish you would have taken a little bit more stance on
Yeah, I'm still the same
something
guy.
in relation to the BPT. Hopefully that's on the platform. And then my +1 is actually the same. It's Josh and Tina. One, from a marketing perspective, God bless you for the slogan, because no matter how you say, you're always saying it, and in mid speech, you're like, oh my God, I just said I'm all in, and now it's like, let's go Guam. Like, no matter how. So congrats on that. But also thank you for taking the. Yeah, thank you for taking the hard questions, and I think it's never easy to be in front of this panel, and one of the things that we're just looking for is really just honest, not scripted discussions to how to move Guam forward. So I really appreciate you guys coming out. So you guys are
And then
+1.
we're gonna actually, Josh will go through last. We'll go Bistro, then Jeff, and then Josh will do last. That'll be the way to close out the show. Yeah.
Well, my +1 is super easy. Of course, I'm giving it to the team that's present because we've been anticipating their appearance for quite a few weeks right now, and finally they made it. And we're so happy and excited that they finally came and talked to us and presented all their hopes and dreams for Guam with all of you guys. So +1 for you guys. Thank you so much. And of course, my -1. I'm going to have to agree. Marcel, we have to move forward, buddy. We have to. We can't just place things out there in the cyberspace and just expect things to happen. So please, let us know. Let us know. Yay or nay? Come on.
Blink 3 times.
Jeff, you're up.
Okay, my +1 is our guest here today.
You guys made the big time. You guys.
I know we beat you up a lot in the past, but you made it, and you're here, and you did a great job, and we want everybody out there to know what you're all about. And you made it, and that makes my day that you came and talked to them. My -1, I don't know. Okay, we'll go with Marcel. Just because,
He's so easy to pick on, right?
the poor guy has not said anything, not done anything, and now you said he might be lieutenant running, right?
The rumor, yeah.
So it's confusing for us. So Marcel, come talk to us, okay? Thank you.
But can I say something? Because you make the rules, but if you really want me to say -1 for someone, that's going to be Senator Terlaje, because she also placed it out there in the cyberspace, and I have not seen a filing for a senator nor for governor. So I'm curious, and I'm itching to find out how this election's going to go, and I'm dying. I'm dying.
Stay tuned next week, because she said she'd come on the show.
Okay, Josh, you're up.
Oh, everybody went? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, well, my -1 is going to Frank Blas because he stole Mary Okada, my good friend from. Mary is one of the best, so of course we're Pootie, but Frank, you are brilliant for taking Mary. So for sure, And my plus one is going to be our primary competition, Joe and Dwayne.
Oh.
And that's because if Tina and I don't make the primary, we're pledged to support them. They are good guys. They do have Guam's future in their vision, and I look forward to working with them no matter what happens.
Breaking news.
Well, man. You know, you're the youngest guy in this whole room, and you're like,
Yeah.
No, I'm older than Charlie.
Yeah.
By a hair, but the hair's not lost.
Okay, and the biggest question everyone has out there, the internet land is, have you heard the Hafa Hour song, and are you ready to dance?
Yes. Sure, I haven't heard the Hafa Hour.
I'm ready to dance.
You don't have to
you
get
can
out.
dance if you want to. You can bring your friends along.
Yes, so we're going to play
Friends
the
don't
song.
dance.
Okay.
friends don't dance.
Hafa Hour song, huh?
Yo ho ho.
The real talk run.
Welcome
to Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered.
Okay. I'm waiting for this.
Yeah, this is a 5-minute exercise.
Oh, Father Guam, hear that I come alive. From just Pirates Cove, we sailing for what's right. Captain Jeffrey P. will keep the compass true. Andrea on the map. Guam directory coming through. Tigs with the signal, save our startup loud. Doc Akimoto on deck, AMC proud. The real talk run. How good ya to man. Everybody has one. No wish on this ship. No fear in our eyes.
That was morning routine in Cove, Bulgaria. No, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Time cheat.
Sing it, don't filter it. One source for true sicker, yeah, we believe
Come on, Jerry.
This one's for you. Don't forget in the room, Charlie Hermosa near. We ask real questions, make it crystal clear. Tenorio, Calvo, Ada, Camacho names in the race.
I'm gonna get my steps in my workout while you work out.
Clap, lean in close, they the real talk run. I got ya to 2 months, everybody has one. No hush on the ship, no fear in our eyes. Raise the sails to the truth, watch the whole place rise.
What song is this? Did you guys make this song?
Yeah.
This is your song?
What do you think the bed's for?
Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered.
All right.
For true seekers, yeah, we deliver it. Guam unfiltered.
Thank you, Don.
So much for coming.
God bless you, pretty lady. Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, and we can make you guys a song if you want to. We'll play it. Right?
Are you in with them?
Yes, so, yeah, but we're still live, so wait.
Thank you. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. God bless you
Happy
all.
Palm Sunday.
See Susan in DC.
Come down.
I will let you know when we're offline. You can just talk casually.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Jerry. Thank you very much.
That was so good.
Right?
Been a long time.
As I said, when
Thank you, pretty lady.
Republicans and Democrats agree, you'll be surprised.
Oh, yeah, we can get
You'll be
this
surprised.
Did I heard her bad saying the oversight chair didn't.
I'll make you proud, Grandma. Promise.
That's better. Okay, we're done.
The property lines.
Sir, please wait here.
I need you to stay by the car.
Okay, I got it.
Just tell me what happened.
Has been breached. Confirmed reports of multiple attacks in the capital.
Please, we're now in a state of alert.
Go!
Come on in.
Yes, but I didn't.
Details emerging of a major political scandal shaking the island.
But I didn't expect it here. Where else would it be?
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
We're ready to get started.
Time to go.
A few moments later.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And each story is told in a different way. Sometimes I hear the same birds singing from past weeks, telling of their adventures since last seeing each other.
Hafa Hour.
Ready on.
Welcome to Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy! Ahoy! Aye. Over a die Guam. Hear that I come alive from just Pirates Cove, we sailing for what's right. Captain Jeffrey Pigwell keep the compass true. Andrea on the map, Guam directory coming through. Tigs with the signal, save our startup loud. Doc Akimoto on deck, AMC proud. Leaning close, let the real talk run. How good nya to man, everybody has one. No wish on this ship, no fear in our eyes. Raise the sails to the truth, watch the whole place rise. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, ahoy, sing it, don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seeker, yeah, we deliver. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Everybody now, Guam unfiltered. They do to Santa Rita, in Alohan too, Talo Fofo in the reading. This one's for you, Don Farrell in the room, Charlie Hermosa near. We ask real questions, make it crystal clear. Tenorio, Calvo, Ada, Camacho names in the race. No banners on this deck, just truth to face. Independent pirate party, stand firm, stand tall. Continue to continue, answer the call. Clap, clap, lean in close, let the real talk run. Hagotnya to 2 months, everybody has one. No hush on the ship, no fear in our eyes. Raise the sails to the truth, watch the whole place rise. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, sing it, don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seekers, yeah, we deliver it. Guam unfiltered. Everybody now, one filtered. White ladies breach when the night wind blow. Truth don't scare when the truth must show. Chief Gadao and Matapang strength we carry on. Sarina in the tide sing, Guam sing along. Continue to continue. Independent pirate party. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Hafa Hour, Guam unfiltered. Ahoy, sing it, don't filter it. Guam sauce for true seekers, yeah, we deliver it. Tune into Hafa Hour, Guam.